Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. Today I'm going to share with you my top 10 perfumes for 2022, but either the ones that have been released this year, so my favorites of the perfumes released this year, or perfumes that I've discovered for myself this year. So it's the top 10 releases of 2022, including discoveries for myself. Which don't have to be releases in 2022 necessarily. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together there for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience on my main superdacob channel. That's where I live stream every Saturday. You're all welcome to join me and partake in the live chat. So hi to my co-chatters on the sidebar. Let me tell you where it's at. So 2022 has been a very interesting year. I mean, we've been, trying to gain back our lives, go back to some form of normality, traveling again, moving again. Sorry, I'm a little bit thirsty. Gotta hydrate. I've been live streaming for a long time already. Trying to, we're moving around. And so part of that going back to normality after 2 years of lockdown, for lack of a better word, is also joining other people, seeing other people. And, I always say perfumes, I wear them for myself, not for others. But it's also interesting how the perfume houses have approached this return to normality by offering new products, more or less, right? I mean, depending on the brands. But I've been very pleasantly surprised with the discoveries that I've made this year, for myself at least. So let's begin with the first surprise. I did not see this one coming. And usually information leaks, and usually I know it ahead of time. This one hit me out of the blue, and what a great release it was for this year, can I just say. Number 1, Le Rouge by Chanel. And look at that, almost empty. It's a 100 ml bottle. It is a body spray, like a scent moment. They don't sell this as a eau de toilette or eau de cologne. No, they say literally, what do they call it? Revitalizing fragrant body mist. It's not even a perfume, it's a mist. But it is gorgeous. Now, yeah, does it last like 10 seconds and then it's gone? Yes. But I love it. It's so invigorating, beautiful. You spray it on and it just gives you happiness, energy. It's very the berries in here are amazing. And this flacon is to die for. The glass is not just, spray painted in red. It's colored through and through in red. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous tone of red. Number 1, Le Rouge is it. This thing, when they announced that they're coming out with the number 1 skincare and makeup collection for like youthful skin, I never thought that they're coming out with a perfume. And then this thing was launched just like that. All of a sudden, there's like I'm like, wow. They're like, no, I did Dacob. It's just a mist. You're gonna be disappointed if you think this is like a perfume. But I was not disappointed at all. I love it. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Definitely in my top 10 for 2022. And it was released in 2022. Brockstar says, I love to use it after a shower at night to relax with. Yeah, it is really good at night, but also in the morning after a shower, but also like in between, during the day, just have it with you in your bag and you just kind of freshen up a little. It's almost like eating some fresh fruit or something. It invigorates you. It's really, really nice. The next one also shocked me. Again, I did not see this one coming. Sneaky, sneaky Chanel. And boy, oh boy, was I pleasantly surprised with Gabrielle Parfum. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I am not a big fan of Gabrielle Eau de Parfum. I'm not a big fan of Gabrielle Essence. But the Extrait, I'm blown away. Blown away. Oh my God. No. Mm-mm. It just gets better and better. It gets better and better. It is the tuberose in here, the jasmine, the ilang ilang. Oh, the woods. This thing is insane. It's insane how good this is. Like, as bad as Chanel's leather is this year, in my humble opinion, they've really, really done some terrible stuff. As bad as that is, as good as the perfumes are, on the other hand. Like, they haven't had a year this good. And we're going to get to the other stuff, right? But Gabrielle Parfum, it is very, I mean, it has the DNA of Gabrielle, right? But it's very different from the Eau de Parfum and the Essence. Because it's like they don't have that grapefruity opening. They don't have that screechy metallic opening that Eau de Parfum has. And it goes really deep into the white florals here in a way that only Olivier Polge knows how to do. And Olivier Polge, he knows his white florals. And he knows his flowers in general. I mean, he did Dior Homme Original, masterpiece. You know, Dominique Ropion and him worked together on Pure Poison, another white floral mask. But anyway, the next one is interesting because it's not a release from this year, but I discovered it for myself. So since I found out about the existence of this perfume this year, it's literally as if it was launched this year for me, because I smelled it for the first time this year. And although it's a perfume that was released in the 80s, but I've only found out about it this year thanks to my dear friend Vel. Hi, Vel, by the way. Be sure you guys to follow Vel on Instagram. Aldehydes Overdose on Instagram. Vel gifted me Patricia de Nicolai's #1 Intense perfume from the 80s. This tuberose, I love my white florals, but like this tuberose, divine. Patricia de Nicolai, #1 Intense. Oh, Vel is in the chats. There you go. Vel says, I'm wearing #1 today. Oh, Vel, my love. How's it going, sweetie? Yeah, I just mentioned you. I just gave you a shout out. So Vel gifted me this perfume. Vel, thank you so much, sweetie. So Vel made my year extra special with this one. It's such a beauty. It is majestic. And since I've discovered it for myself this year, for me, it's a new launch, even though the perfume exists since the 80s, and all thanks to Vel. So this one is definitely my top 10 of discoveries of this year. Also, I'm always on the lookout for special white florals, especially tuberose. And when a tuberose hits, Dacob comes. Dacob, like, I wiggle my tail and I rush like a puppy towards you. The next one, also, I was very surprised by the name. And when I heard the name, I thought, this is so lackluster. Like, wow, how groundbreaking. But then I smelled it and I fell in love. And again, Chanel shocked me with the third release this year, 2022, Paris, Paris. You know, I was like, Paris, Paris, seriously? Really? Are we really going to call this thing Paris, Paris? Like, couldn't you think of something better? But then when you smell it, you realize, oh, it makes sense. It all makes sense. I'm telling you, y'all, it's been years that Chanel has not had such a strong year. This is already the third release this year that is bombastically good. This thing is almost my favorite Lezu. My favorite is still Deauville, but this one comes in so close. Paris Paris is just majestic. Majestic. Be sure to check out my review of Paris Paris. I've reviewed it on my channel here on Essentially Dacob. And you will notice that it's the story behind it is very, very interesting. Or the story that I fantasize about in my head when I wear it. Very interesting. And it makes total sense that this thing is called Paris Paris after you smell it and after you feel the emotions that it gives. Insane. Definitely in the top 10 for 2022. The next one, I've known this one before, but I've rediscovered it this year in its fullest potential, thanks to another very, very dear friend of mine, Emilio, aka Jizzes. How's it going, sweetie? Be sure you guys to follow Emilio's YouTube channel, Omilio. I will post a link down below. He kind of made me reacquainted with Guerlain's Maora. Also, be sure to follow Emilio on Instagram. Emilio, do I tell them both of your Insta accounts or just the perfume one? So, Omilio on Instagram, but yeah. He also has another Instagram account, but I mean, you go find Emilio and then you'll find the other one as well. Omilio spelled Eaumilio, by the way, on Instagram. So Maora by Guerlain from the 2000s. Well, it was actually launched in 2000. Look at that reflection of the sun in this bottle. Oh my gosh. Another tuberose. Another mythological tuberose, but with almonds in it. There's darkness in here, depression, sadness, but also it's a seed that is broken open and kind of Maora is the root growing from underneath it. It's a very fascinating perfume. It was way ahead of its time when it was released, hence discontinued right away. It didn't work. I do believe if it were released today, it would still not work. To be perfectly honest with you, it's a very complicated perfume, but I love it to bits. And you actually have to turn the nozzle around and then you activate the sprayer. Then you got to push this seed down and then it sprays. It's a very complicated bottle to use and it doesn't always spray right. It's a mess. But boy, oh boy, what a beauty. So, yes, I've known this one before, but I've never really given it the minute of the day, you know? But thanks to Emilio, I was like, okay, let me sink into it. And then, bam, the magic happened. So this is definitely a major discovery for me personally for this year. Definitely in my top 10 for 2022. Okay, now this one is interesting. It wasn't released in 2022. It was actually released in 2021. But again, I did not really want it. Something happened in 2022 and I kind of sniffed it in the right way and it was love. I know this is a controversial one and it's not one that's going to be liked or is liked by many, but it is also loved by many. It is a mass product. So it's kind of like saying, you know, for all the perfume snobs out there, they're probably not going to like this one, but I'm not a perfume snob. I love what I love and I don't care what other people think. So, Sauvage, Elixir. I love it. They also list oak moss in it. I really listen. And I love this little dent inside of it. I've reviewed Elixir on my channel. I really, really respect this perfume. I'm not a big fan of Demachi. He's done a lot of weird things at Dior that I'm not happy with. Sauvage, it's a love-hate thing. A lot of people just don't like Sauvage. A lot of people like it, but don't like the fact that almost every guy out there wears Sauvage, so everybody smells of it. So I can see how it can become annoying because this thing has become so popular in other concentrations. Okay. the eau de toilette, eau de parfum, or parfum. The elixir costs a pretty penny, so it's not going to be that easy to find a lot of people who just, splurge so much money for a 60 ml bottle. But uh, the elixir has something about it that's so intense. I smell it days after. You got to be very careful how you dose this one. Like, it's that intense. Yeah, I'm not going to spray it away. There's a little droplet left on that. I'm going to just pick. I'm not even going to put it on my skin right now because I'm going to deal with other perfumes right now. And if I put this, even one droplet on my skin is going to be bombastic for hours and hours. This thing is amazing. You just got to know how to dose it right. Be very, very cautious how you use it. Do not overspray this. How Chic says, elixir lasts for 2 weeks. Elixir is insane. And I love it. And you know what? Truth be told, because I do wear perfumes for myself, a lot of times I would just sniff it out of the bottle and that would be enough for me and I would be happy. And I wouldn't spray it on me often, but I sometimes just like to sniff it from the bottle, and because I like how it smells from the bottle. I actually really like how it smells from the bottle. Sometimes it doesn't dry down in the best of ways on me, but from the bottle it always smells the best. Also not a good sign for a perfume, but whatever. I still, it's sweet and bitter at the same time. This thing is amazing. Live in for it. So yeah, I kind of fell in love with it this year, even though it was released last year. By Demachi, by the way. Okay, so the next one, again, Chanel shocked me. Yet again, Chanel pulled one on me and was like, haha, you didn't see it coming, but you're gonna love it. Boy, do I love it. I bought 2 bottles of it. It's Sycamore Parfum. And I didn't know, out of the blue, it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be released in a couple of weeks. Done. Released. I'm like, how did I miss this? How did I miss this? How did I miss this? So you can see I've already used quite a bit of the Parfum. Now this one we can definitely, and I've stopped using the little ceramic thing. Honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm just, with all my skin particles in here, it's all getting dirty. I really don't care. I love it so much. This thing is not going to last long because I am going to use it. Oh. Chanel, I don't know what you did, girl. Like Olivier Polge, this year has been incredible for Chanel. They've also reformulated, humble opinion, they've also reformulated their eau de parfum Sycamore. So I never liked the eau de parfum of Sycamore. I loved eau de toilette, but they've changed it. It's more similar to the eau de toilette now. It's really good now. So look, bam. Bought this bottle as well. I also got the 200 ml bottle. Yes, when I love something, I love it to bits. Sycamore is amazing. So Chanel really, really did something here this year in terms of new law. Look at this. Look at this. They got 4. They got Sycamore, Gabrielle, L'Eau Rouge, and Paris Paris. These 4 releases this year, and they're all incredible. I mean, congratulations, Chanel. This is insane. And especially, given that I did not like Gabrielle, Essence, and Eau de Parfum, but this thing I'm head over heels in love. Hopelessly in love with this one. Also with Sycamore Parfum, hopelessly in love. All of them, they're just amazing. I mean, how are they going to top themselves? Like, how can they do better next year? How can you top this? This is insane. 4 major, incredibly good releases in 1 year. But we're not done yet. We got more. Another rediscovery of mine for this year, which has been just an obsession of mine. It has been launched in 2004, but I finally found dead stock and I ordered several bottles of it so I could really binge and indulge in the original formula from 2004. And I've been obsessed this year. So it's like it's been released this year for the first time for me because I finally got my hands on the OG batches. And that would be the first edition of Pure Poison by Dior, with Dominique Ropillon and Olivier Polge working kind of together to create this gorgeous pearl. Oh my god, the original bottle spray paint and the pearlescence of it, like, so beautiful. The current bottle design is not so good, but this is another white floral, gardenia based. It's, first of all, I gotta say, it's also the epitome of Y2K, the 2000s. This is the smell of this is the best of the 2000s. This delivers such a moment. And for me to have rediscovered it this year and to have purchased all the, all the dead stock I could find, is just so beautiful. And the fact that when I unboxed this one in particular, and I smelled it, and it smelled just like I remembered it from back in 2004. So even though this thing is almost 20 years old now, it's 18 years old, this bottle still smells brand new. The fact that after 18 years, this thing is intact and preserved as it was 18 years ago is just mind-boggling to me, but also made me so happy. I spent the entire summer wearing Pure Poison and thinking to myself, boy, it feels like I'm back in the early 2000s. It made me feel really, really good. So this one is on my top 10 for 2022 as a rediscovery. So not a launch, but as a rediscovery, it's a masterpiece. And I'm not a fan of the current formula. So for me to have found the OG, the first batch, still originally packaged, wrapped, sealed, was a miracle. Literally a miracle. And for a great price at that. So definitely on my list. Another one that took me by surprise. Well, I knew it was going to come, but I didn't know it was going to change so much. This one was launched this year. We said bye-bye, Demashi, but we say hello, Mr. Francis Kurjan at the helm of Dior Perfumes. And of course, one of my big loves is Eau Noire. So Eau Noire was released this year, or re-released this year, in a reformulated version. The color of the liquid changed, and the smell is also slightly different. It's a slightly flatter version of Eau Noire, nevertheless beautiful. Could be a little bit deeper smelling, but that's okay. Listen, at this point, I'll take anything you give me when it comes to Eau Noire. Just give me something. Just please don't discontinue the perfume. I would have loved to have still the green liquid, but they want to go all, I don't know what they're trying to do. But anyway, whatever. Even with this color, I don't care. Give me this color. It's fine. Oh, man. This is launched in 2022, and of course I had to have the bottle. And Eau Noire, what can I say? You can check out my review of it, but it's just such a beautiful perfume, and it has so many beautiful, interesting memories. I'm connected to it. I mean, I have the Cologne from the early 2000s, another Y2K moment. I do have the Eau de Parfum green version that went through several reformulations. I have several of them. And then I do have this one. So as Eau Noire evolves, I kind of follow it. Everywhere it goes, I will follow like a puppy. You will get the burnt woods relatively soon into the development and into the lifespan of this perfume on your skin. So the prior formula is going to make you wait a little bit more. You know, you're going to kind of have to hope that it comes sooner or later, and then it hits you by surprise. Now it doesn't really, the mystery is kind of gone with the current formula, but it's still really good. It could bounce off the skin a bit more too, though. The projection isn't beastly, as you would think with something like this, right? But I love it to bits nevertheless. And as if this was not enough, we still have one more to go, right? We did, how many did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10th is missing. The 10th fragrance that was released in 2022 that made me fall madly in love. Also, total surprise. I did not know that this thing was released. I even missed the release. Like, I didn't even realize that it was released, and I just kind of discovered it. It was released in September, October of 2022. So it's a late year release, right before the holiday season. So I guess they wanted people to buy it as presents for special people or their kids, maybe. But I just discovered it in November. Right after Halloween, actually, I discovered Cabriole by Hermès. So it was released in 2022 in September/October. Sold out everywhere already. This is how much people love it. I think they produced it in smaller quantities. They didn't probably think it was going to be that successful. I don't know what the reason is, but it's gone everywhere. This thing flew off the shelves. And it's not the cheapest thing either. You know, for 50 ml, you got to pay like over $100. It has no alcohol. And you might think, oh, no alcohol. Well, it's meant for kids 3 years and up. Check out my review on my perfume channel. So you might think, oh, no alcohol. Well, then this thing is going to last like 5 seconds on your skin. Then it's got, no, it lasts a whole day on my skin. Beautiful lasting power, beautiful projection. It develops so smoothly. It does have a development on your skin. It doesn't stay very linear. When you spray it on, it's a little bit aggressive and poopy even. It's osmanthus, honeysuckle, and sandalwood. That's basically where it's at. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous little baby with a pony moment happening. The drawing on the bottle is to die for. And then it has the cologne bottle shape with the little stopper. It becomes, you know, Osmanthus is that famous base of Hermès perfumes, and they really, really play with it heavily here. But the honeysuckle adds a dirty honey vibe to this perfume, which makes it more mature than you would think. This is not a kid perfume. I mean, sure, you could use it for your kids 3 years and up, as Hermès says, but this is a very, very grown-up perfume. And when you first spray it, the atomizer is so dusty. It's almost like inhaling dust. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to breathe it in. But once it's on the skin and it settles in and settles down, oh my gosh, it's a beauty. This thing is amazing. Seriously, you guys, try to get a bottle of this, you know, first batch. By the way, what batch do I have? The batch that I have is 09857, because, you know, they reformulate stuff. I mean, Hermès is a little bit more stable with what they do, but it's always good when a perfume is this good to get backups if possible, and especially with the first batch, just in case they come up with a silly idea to reformulate something. Heaven forbid, right? But anyway, these were my favorite releases of 2022 slash favorite discoveries or rediscoveries of 2022. My top 10. Let me know your top 10 in the comment section down below, and let me know what you think about this stuff, my selection. Man, it's amazing. What a great perfume year. I am so thrilled with these perfumes. I'm so happy about, like, what a wonderful, wonderful selection of perfumes. I mean, this is just my selection. Obviously, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of perfumes were released in 2022. But with the ones that I have here, my top 10, I'm so happy with them. Like, they give me so much joy. They have been my companions this year. They have been with me through trials and tribulations. They've been with me through sad times, difficult times, but also they've been with me through happy times, exhilarating, exuberant times. They've made me really happy, and they've helped me through a lot of rough patches. So I'm very, very thankful to my 10 perfumes. They are like my friends. Perfumes are my friends. You know, that's how I see them, at least. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Never forget to never give up on love, and subscribe. Bye.